we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. Yes, you're watching SBR Sports Picks. We come to you from sportsbookreview.com, SBRodds.com, SBRforum.com. His name's Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is Loshak in the Bag Show, the 6 o'clock edition for Tuesday, May 15th. I'm feeling okay, Jimmy the Bag. I'm feeling okay, despite the fact that I did eat a loss in the first 5 innings. I was also thinking, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, is Lyles going to pitch well? If yes, I like the first 5 under. If no, I like Colorado on the first 5 innings. So you see that a lot in MLB. And I guess no. What happened was yes, first 5 innings under cashed. My first 5 innings bet lost. Mark Lathrop endorsed the play on Colorado on the full game, at least. And to anyone who tailed that one, I apologize. I'm still okay. I'm still doing all right. Jimmy the Bag is up double digits in MLB, and I am up 2.1 units now. So I got to be careful, Jimmy the Bag. I had a really good run where I had nice balls, really admirable balls, a beautiful ball, huge, beautiful balls, and I was careful. I was very cautious about all my plays. I got up. I was pushing 10 units, and that last couple days been a little sloppy. I had some overs that I would normally not take because I don't like to take those those obvious no-brainer overs on Mondays, and now I'm pushing 0 again, Jim.
Well, I think your balls will be glorious once
so?
again. Yeah, I'm certain of it. I'm
Okay.
certain of it. But yeah, we're in positive units.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason to panic or be uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I did not expect Lyles to be perfect through 7. I'm thankful that I stayed off that game.
Yeah.
But I certainly didn't expect that. And a lot of us on the chat were talking about how he was going to regress. And so that was just a tough spot. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, King Rail says, well, the Rockies shit the bed. Yes, they did. I think King Rail might have, I don't know if he tailed me and Mark Lathrop and everything, but if you did, I'm sorry, King Rail. Yes, I took a loss on that one as well. Scotty Rock Forever says, Pete, thank you for finally accepting my Twitter friend request. LOL. Yeah, I don't use Twitter that much. I want to use it more, and I just clicked on a bunch of names that I recognized on the right and got it. But okay, so Scotty Rock Forever. Lyles put the Rockies to sleep. LOL. King Rail says, hit the like, people. Show your love for Pete and Jim. Thank you so much at King Rail. Thank you so much at King Rail. And Underdog said, look at this. Look at fucking this. Underdog says, just finished watching this morning's show. Wow, what a show. This show gives me a reason to listen to the best experts. And then there's a big A there. I don't know what the A was going to mean, but thank you so much. Thank you, so Underdog. Yes, we do have Larry in the back. Larry, when we make Larry laugh, feel free to turn on a microphone, Larry, when you laugh, just so they know that that we're making people laugh.
Old Lumpy Nuts back there. He's got a big play for Larry's plays in tomorrow.
Absolutely, Larry is going to have one here. And this morning show was great. It got in my craw a little bit because does this ever happen to you, Jim? You're a comedian, so I'm sure this happens to you fucking every hour. I missed a joke. I thought of a joke after the show was over that I should have gone for. It was pretty obvious, and it just got in my craw a little bit.
Got in your craw?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. It got in my craw. But yeah, absolutely. Mr. Gokster99 says, I turn off TSN to watch this. Mr. Gokster99, I love you, man. I'm serious, man. Thank you so much. Jesus Christ. What a fucking roller coaster life is. And what a roller coaster sports betting is, isn't it?
It is a roller coaster. Our man King Rail has asked for our sizes. I think he's going to get us freshed up, man.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to get us looking. I think IFBC is going to lock us down with some wares,
wow.
man.
Yeah, King Rail. God, I love that guy, King Rail. Sports betting is definitely a roller coaster for me. A little bit less of a roller coaster for you, Jim. I see some small downs here and there in MLB from you, but I see a lot more steady ups.
It can turn quickly.
It's a very easy roller coaster to be riding, my friend.
It's a very comfortable coaster. It's a very comfortable coaster
Absolutely.
right now. But I can't seem to put all 3 sports together. That's something that's hurt me all year long. And whenever I have one sport rolling, it seems like another sport sort of falls off. It's tough. I'm positive units in NBA, NHL, MLB, and I just haven't been able to get them all together at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's always a battle, but there's no question that sitting beside you and working with the chat is the reason why I'm successful.
Stephen Alla says, I change my daily routine to accommodate this show twice a day. LOL. Thank you so much, Stephen Alla. Thank you so much, Stephen Alla. Thank you. Sorry. Freaking out a little bit.
It's okay. It's
Freaking
okay.
People kind of like it when I freak out, though. So you know what I mean. Like if I have it inside of me to freak out, I'm like, people tend to laugh when I freak out. So I'm like, I just let it go. You know what I'm saying, Jim? All right.
Underdog said it was amazing when you threw your hat on the ground.
Yeah, yes, that was where I thought of another a joke on top of that. That was the comment where I mean, I did a good job. There it is, Flipper 13. What kind of sizes? Aha, Flipper. It was the Flipper comment that I forgot about the joke, and it also would have given me to address once again the issue in my life that plagues me that I did reveal 2 days ago, didn't I, Jim? And I will reveal it here because we're all a family, right? We tell each other the absolute truths about our lives, whether they're good and whether they're bad. And if Jimmy the Bag is up double digits in MLB, we're gonna tell you. And if there's bad shit, we're gonna tell you, right?
Yes, we
are. And I think that's what that people appreciates. King of Big Mac says, using my lunch break to watch you guys.
Nice.
Huge shout out, King of Big Mac.
King of Big
All right.
Mac. That's a new
King of Big Mac.
a new name. I love seeing
King
it.
of Big Mac. Pro Hobo P says, finally found a great group of losers to hang with. That's a compliment, right?
I don't know.
Yes, that's a compliment. Pro Hobo B. He means losers ironically is what he's talking about. He means it ironically. Okay, let's see. Well, I win, says Pete. Jimmy the Bag fit perfectly as your co-host. I've been watching your show since when you did it by yourself. Shout out. Thank you so much, Huai Nguyen. And yes, Jimmy the Bag, my personal savior for the past year. Thank you so much, Jimmy the Bag.
Man,
I love this guy.
I'm
saying it,
thankful.
Jimmy the Bag. I'm saying it, Jimmy the Bag.
I'm the one that's thankful, man.
All right. And that's it for the introduction. Let's get into MLB. How about that? We got a lot of shit to cover.
Yeah,
time is short.
We got games that we didn't hit on, so let's get to it.
First, let's review the picks that we gave in the morning show. Jimmy the Bat. A lot of games also might not go off because there is rain in a lot of these games.
3 of the main markets look like they're not going off. Washington, New York Mets, and
Boston.
Yes, in Boston. Those 3 games.
So you check they're probably not going to go off.
They are unlikely to go off, but that's okay. We put in all the work, so whatever.
Yeah. So once again, there are a lot of games that might get rained out, but these are the official picks from the morning. Jim took Washington over 8.5. Boston under 10. Dodgers, LA Dodgers, first 5 innings, team total over 2 -129, and full game over 4 -105. White Sox first half plus 130, and Cleveland money line -130. My official picks from the morning show. I'm also on the Dodgers, first 5 innings, team total over 2 -129. Yankees second half -125. Philly, first half, team total over 2.5 -118. Boston under 10, along with Jimmy the Bag. Milwaukee, second half, -110. And, of course, in the morning show, I did give Colorado first half at -119. That was a loser for me, and anyone who tailed it also had a loser. Sorry about that. And we got a lot of shit to cover. The first things I'm thinking about is in the morning show, Jim, I was definitely thinking about throwing on the first 5 innings over in the Dodgers-Miami game. You're already on the Dodgers team total over first 5 and full game. Mark Lathrop, no need to introduce him anymore, said that he was on the border of taking Miami on the first 5 innings, team total over at 1.5. Now, if we're liking Chen to get hit, and Mark Lathrop is already thinking about just isolating Miami, I have to be thinking that the first 5 innings over will be a good bet, and I will throw that one on officially. At the point where I put it in my leans category, it was just -120 at the over 4. Now I'm going to have to eat a higher line, -133 at Pinnacle, but I'm going to throw that on. I'm now doubling up and taking the first 5 innings over 4 -133 in the Dodgers-Miami game.
And what's the full game?
The full game, let's see, let's check. The full game, Dodgers-Miami, is 8 or a few 8.5s, but most places have 8.
Wow.
Because I was also thinking about the second half under, throwing that one on there too.
I get it. I get those plays. I just don't trust this Marlins offense. I don't like Wood moving forward. Mm-hmm. I really like simplifying everything that I've done. I like where I stand. Taking the Dodgers team total over, that feels good to me.
All right, I'm going to throw on the first 5 innings over 4 at -133 in Dodgers-Miami, and I also have a lean to the second half under at 3.5 at -120. We'll see. I might throw that one on at the end of the show. All right, Jimmy the Bag, how you feeling about your picks? Anything you want to add as far as the picks that you gave this morning, and any other picks that you want to add to your overall slate?
Yes, I have 2 things I want to add, but I want to give a shout out to Adrian Barreto.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Barreto, I don't remember seeing that name. What a treat it is to have him come up and be a part of our chat. Says, I wait till the last second to clock into my job just to watch this show. I thought a spit take was coming. I thought a spit take was coming.
That was about to be a spit take there.
My manager's going to start pushing my clock in time 5 minutes so I don't have to rush.
Adrian Barreto, I love you personally. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me, off camera, on camera, and everything. Yes, there was almost a spit take there. That was very close, Jim.
I thought it was going to happen. I can't wait. I can't wait for the first giant spit take.
Yeah, there will be one once. I once actually, in the history, you don't know about this, but I once coordinated a planned spit take with Joe Duffy on a video. This was like 6 years ago. Super fun. Got a positive, not as positive a response as the fun that I had doing it, but it was.
I love spit takes, so
yes.
let's get it started. Let's get it started.
And you know what it was? Show. I don't remember, but I remember this one. It was there was one NFL game when it was the highest spread in the history of NFL games or something like that. I forgot what the spread was. I forgot what the teams were involved were, but I pretended that I hadn't checked the spread yet and asked Joe Duffy to fill me in, and I did a fake spit take, and people did appreciate it, but I just loved it. I love spit.
Let's get it. Let's get it in the show. We have a King is actually my name, Kingsley Madu coming in. I know that you've appointed a King of our chat.
Yes.
We have King Rail, whom we respect huge in his NBA. What an incredible NBA capper who helps us out so much and puts money in our pocket. And now we have Kingsley Madu joining us, which is an absolute treat. Also, just before we get into these games, I know we've been talking for a little bit too long, but I just saw a video of your girl, the Cash Me Outside girl. She's doing a little track with a little boat.
Listen,
my man, little Yachty, and
regular viewers of my videos. This was even before you were here, Jimmy the Bag. Know that that as soon as she had that video with Dr. Phil, I predicted. I was like, this is just the beginning. I was like, this girl has a future, and no one believed me.
I'm embarrassed to say that she's got flow.
Yes,
man, she can drop lyrics.
I mean,
man.
I'm trying to get SBR to have her as a celebrity guest at the Bash. They kick me out of the office every time I say that. But all right, so
let's get her to IF. Well, no, that's not. She's too young. Too young. But I was impressed. She got to track out Gucci flip flops with a little boat.
Yes,
she hits it.
I love it. Okay, so Mr. Gokster, in the meantime, is agreeing with my first 5 LA Dodgers over. I don't know if he's agreeing with the team total or with the full or with both teams at over 4 minus 133. I'm taking it, and I am thinking about taking the second half under as well at minus 120 under 3.5. And Jim, so what picks do you want to get to? One game that we didn't get to in the morning show, very interesting one, Houston against the Angels, right? Garrett Cole, just a stud. Right, I mean, he's in stud mode like Corey Kluber's stud mode. You know, is going to be is a long-term sustainable. There's no way that Garrett Cole's stud mode that he's in right now is sustainable, right? That's not.
He's getting people out with 93, 94 mile an hour fastballs, and then when he needs to get them out, he's throwing in 97. He's been very impressive, but where's the value? I like Jamie Barria. The only value I see is making a play on the Angels, which I'm not going to do. Astros have not allowed more than 2 runs in their past 7 games, so maybe you take the under. Garrett Cole gets a chance to pitch 3 miles from where he went to school. I don't think that's going to bother him. Cole 4-1, 1.43 ERA, 0.74 WHIP through 56 2/3, 86 Ks, 12 walks. Barria looks awesome. Hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any of his 4 career starts. I don't see an edge. I don't see an angle. I don't know. I'm not making a move on this game.
Oh, Jay Peach saying she just got Trippie Redd in huge trouble, by the way. Banged her while she's underage. Yes, that did happen. That's not very nice. I like Trippie Redd. I do like Trippie Redd. I vaguely like him. All right, so let's see. Michael L. Ferris says, I'm thinking Astros tonight, and only because Garrett Cole is pitching in his hometown. I don't know, man. What do you think? I mean, obviously, it feels
Yanks
trappy as hell.
Might have it though. Yank guy first 5 under 4.5. I'm surprised they're hanging 4.5
in the Houston game.
Yeah.
I mean,
the wind's blowing out 8 miles per hour, but still, a 4.5 doesn't sound too bad. Let me see what.
It doesn't, and I gotta be. I tend to take more like first 5 inning overs because I feel like when I do identify an edge, they tend to be bigger. But I feel like there are more first 5 inning under edges in general to be had, and I need to take a few more shots with those. I was definitely leaning first 5 innings under in the Colorado game. Definitely leaning first 5 innings under in this one as well. My only slight concern is just what will we get from Barria here?
Yeah, and judging from what we've seen. He's probably going to pitch pretty well. He's not trying to strike out too many batters. 13 strikeouts, 18 and a third. I like that from young pitchers. 7 walks. He's been impressive, and I'm going to stay off of this. But Yanks guy says exactly, Jim. Love the hook on that line. There's no question. My local is giving it out at minus 135 for under 4.5. That's not really the kind of bet I want to make. But I do think that's probably the play. When is the Astros offense going to wake up? I mean, it's funny. They're hitting 255 with a 742 OPS, and I'm waiting for their offense to wake up. That's not bad. That's good.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to think about that a little bit more. Here's another play. Tell me what you think about this. Texas-Seattle. We didn't talk about this game in the morning. Minor against Leak. Obviously, these are not the most explosive offenses in the major leagues, but these are also two, hittable starting pitchers. What about first 5 innings over 4.5 minus 125 here, Jim?
I tell you what, one thing that's been working for me in baseball is when I'm uncomfortable with a pitching matchup, where I can't tell. I mean, the only play I would make is on the over. I had the Jays team total over when Leak went into Toronto last week, and he pitched to Jim. What do? Rangers have value, but I'm not going to put my money on Mike Minor. I'm very uncomfortable with this spot. Mariners won 1-0 Minneapolis last night. 40-minute delay. That ended an 8-day, 7-game, 3-city, 2-country road trip where they ended up getting into Seattle, getting home very late. Cano's now suspended for 80 games for a diuretic. Which he says is not a performance-enhancing drug. We all know that it's a masking agent. We're not idiots. So Cano clearly was using a masking agent. Man. He's not trying to urinate more. And he's got a fractured hand. He was going to be out anyways. But, this is a guy who started every game for the Mariners this year. Never missed more than 12 games. What's it going to do to the clubhouse? Adrian Beltre going back on the disabled list. Minor is 2-1 with a 5.68 ERA in his past 3 starts. 4+ runs in 2 of those games. He's not to be trusted. He's always pitched Seattle well, but I think he's a guy who's not going to pitch well throughout the rest of the season. The 4.72 ERA I expect him to have an ERA around 5. And what do we do with Leak? He looks awful, then he takes money out of my pocket when he looks great in Toronto. He has incredible career numbers against the Rangers, 1.99 ERA. Rangers aren't hitting 229, 689 OPS. They're going to hit even worse. They're going to hit even worse without Beltre in the lineup. Mariners are smashing lefties. I can't trust the Rangers offense to do anything for me. I'm very comfortably staying off this game.
Yeah.
Marcus Johnson says Seattle has 73% simulation value. The play's on Seattle, I think, but what are the odds you're going to get on this right now? Seattle money line minus 130s. That's probably the play. I don't trust Mike Minor at all. But then this is you're counting on the offense that got in very late last night. That's not going to have Cano in the lineup. It just doesn't feel very good. Searcy says Mariners hit lefties, Rangers don't hit righties. That's right. But and Cream of Wheat Jones says Loshak, where's your coffee cup handle?
It busted this morning. That's fine. No, I am superstitious, but some things also I'm not superstitious about, and definitely not worried about that. I'm thinking about taking the first 5 innings over 4.5 minus 125 in this Texas-Seattle game. I know Texas can't hit, but Leak, and I know Leak is better than at times than you expect. Sometimes you think he's like borderline auto fade, and then he has a good start, but he's still a hittable guy. You know what I'm saying? And Texas is still a major league lineup. They're going to be able to put up a couple runs on him in the first 5 innings, right? No?
When the season started, I was like, I liked Leak at home, wanted to fade him on the road. And then when I went over his splits, I was like, well, he's pitching bad everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of these two teams at all.
All right, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the first 5 over 4.5 minus 125 Texas-Seattle. I might be pushing it a little bit here. I hope I don't get burned and I have to eat a bunch of negative units, but I will take the first 5 innings over 4.5 minus 125. I can already feel the comments coming in, people saying like, good luck, Pete. I wouldn't do that, but good luck. I feel like there's a lot of those comments. I'm staying off it, but good luck, Pete. I will throw that one on there. Can I address another comment from Queen Marie Jones?
Yes.
He says, I love the Cubs, but hate Darvish. What should I do? Well, in the morning show, I was thinking about team total overs with Atlanta to fade Darvish. What do you think?
I think it's risky.
Why?
Because I don't think Darvish is nearly as bad as his numbers show. And we have a vividness bias of him getting destroyed in the World Series. Madden and the brain trust of the Cubs is not going to give him $120-odd million to a guy who can't throw. I just think it's risky. I think that the whole world says he can't pitch, and you think these guys, these experts on the Cubs would have given a guy who can't pitch that much money. I think it's a very risky thing to do, and I'm comfortably staying off that game.
Cornelius Kidwell likes Atlanta money line.
That's what I think. Not that that's a wrong way of looking at it at all, and I don't mean that at all. I just kind of feel like it's a simple way of looking at it, and there's more going on than we see. And okay, we are looking at this Braves lineup, and it's incredible right now. And Acuna and Albies are monsters. We've seen these young studs light up for a month, for 6 weeks, for 2 months, and we always see them slow down. It's a 162-game season, and they're not used to it. I expect the Braves' offense to regress, and I expect Darvish to improve. And I don't know if that's going to happen today, but I'm staying off this game, and I don't trust with my money. I do not trust this Braves offense staying hot. I made the bet on the Nationals to win the AL East at plus 130. I got a bunch of people tweeting back at me, Braves are going to win the AL East by 10, or NL East. Braves are going to win the NL East by 10 games, and saying, what an idiot, what a terrible. And these guys are simplifying everything. They're simplifying what they're seeing. It's a recency bias, believing that the Braves are going to be the best offensive team in the league. They're not. They're simply not going to end up the best offensive team, and Darvish is not going to end up with a 6 ERA.
Very good points, Jimmy the Bag. Here's an interesting question from King Rail, and let's answer it, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, King Rail says, question, what's more important when capping, the starting pitchers or the bullpens? I need help in that department. Excellent question, King Rail. Obviously, they're both important. Historically, there's no question that starting pitchers were overvalued in terms of the lines, and that you could get great value betting on good teams with bad starting pitchers as underdogs because they were having a bad starting pitcher. So historically, starting pitchers were definitely overvalued. The market is very, very sharp now, so I would not say that is the case today. But they're obviously both important. It may still be the case that in spots, starting pitchers are overvalued. And yeah, that's the answer to that, Jim.
Yes, and I've made a mistake in my past in baseball, just like what Pete's saying, just completely overvaluing, just caring so much about the starters and thinking, oh, baseball is a much easier sport to cap because a pitcher has so much control over the game. Now, parts of that are true, and I do pay more attention to the starters than the bullpens.
Yeah. No, definitely, historically it's been the case that bullpens were wildly underrated and undervalued in the lines. Market's getting sharper, though, a lot sharper, and that is not necessarily the case nowadays, although it's probably a natural tendency for less experienced handicappers to do that.
Yes, and it's seeing Pete's bullpen work and the work he put into his bullpen made me start working harder on my bullpen. You have to have both going, but I spend way more time on. Unfortunately, we'll see. I wanted this opportunity so badly. When I went down to IFBC, they asked if I would host IFBC, and I said only if I could do the show with Pete. And
there you go. Thank you so much.
It was the truth. All I wanted to do was the show with Pete. I got to do it both mornings, and all I really wanted was an opportunity to do a full baseball season beside Pete.
It is. It's fun as hell. Baseball's fun as hell, but it is treacherous, and the market is sharp as hell. The other thing, though, is that, as you can see on SBR odds, books do offer very, very reduced juice. So if you're comparing the lines market-wide, at least as far as the money lines are concerned, there can be close to no vig bets in MLB on the money lines. And then the peripherals, obviously have higher juice, but if you can isolate value in MLB, and there's a lot of ways to do that, you can get great value betting peripherals in MLB. Exhibit A, Native Queen, right? With their first inning plays and hits, errors, and runs plays, right? Exhibit A, Native Queen. Many other exhibits, of course, we could also point out. All right, so let's see. Let
me just
go ahead.
I can't stress enough that the Braves aren't what we're seeing right now. They're just not. And baseball is my favorite. Well, horse racing is my favorite. Baseball is my second favorite sport. All my life I watch it. How many times have we seen youngsters come in and light the league on fire? This season is just never ending. 162 games. They're not used to playing that. I'm serious.
Great comment here from Anthony L. along the same lines. Everyone listen up. Great comment from Anthony L. If you can find a starter that is in line for regression, there is a ton of value on team total overs on the first 5. It's hard to cap an entire bullpen as a regression candidate. That's absolutely true. At the same time, there's a lot less predictability from month to month, bullpen to bullpen, than in other areas of baseball. So there's a lot, especially in the mid-range, of bullpens. It's a lot harder to predict month to month how good or bad bullpens will be long term. Great comments from Anthony L. Great question from King Rail. Jimmy the Bag. Let's go to make some. Let's go to make some other money. Let's go to find some other plays that we might want to add.
I've got 2 plays that I want to add that I haven't added. But first, my man Max says, "What was Pete's first half total plays?" Can you?
I took Miami first half over 4 minus 133, and of course I'm also on the LA Dodgers first 5 innings team total over 2, along with Jimmy the Bag, and that's it. That's the only other one. I also did take controversial play, Philly first half team total over 2.5. What is the deal with Andrew Kashner? And regular viewers of my videos will remember that last year I had a successful season in baseball overall, but one area where I was not successful and ate a lot of negative units was trying to fade Kashner when he had some peripherals that were suspect, and he did have better numbers than I thought he would have. So I don't have historically a great read on Kashner, but he's obviously having some issues right now, and I took the Phillies first 5 innings team total over 2.5 at minus 118. Other than that, I just took the first 5 innings over in Dodgers and Miami over 4 minus 133. In the morning it was minus 120.
Okay, additions.
Okay.
Jim Rome's a deuce says, I've been day drinking, ready to bet. That doesn't always work so well for me.
Okay.
But I like in play, but even that's very dangerous. But man, I love these guys so much. Okay, and Bill Butler says, Caps. I'm not in. Well, we can get that later.
We'll get to those.
First off, I know this line is trappy, and I may be falling for it. But I'm going to fall for it. So I'm taking the over in Reds Giants. Molly versus Block. Game time temp 58 Fahrenheit. Wind blowing strongly out to center. Cincinnati has scored 4 or more runs in 17 of its last 21 games, during which the Reds have gone 11-10. I made a huge point saying the Reds have value now. I lost with them yesterday, but I did hit with the over. Regardless if they're not going to win games, they're going to get the over. I would like to take them here to win. I'm not going to. I'm just going to take the over. Votto's unlikely to be in the lineup after dealing with lower back tightness. I saw a 7.5 because of this information. That doesn't bother me at all. Shebler's hitting. A lot of these guys are hitting. Scooter Gennett was just named NL Player of the Week. Molly 3-4, 3.86 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, 44 Ks and 44 in the third. Has allowed 9 home runs. I was very impressed. Very impressed with how he pitched against LA. Block 3-4, 4.20 ERA, 1.42 WHIP. I feel like he's very susceptible. Reds are smashing lefties, 255, 765 OPS versus lefties. And Giants are hitting where I kind of see them hitting, maybe a tiny bit lower, but 255, 717 OPS. I'm on the over in this game, over 8.
I'm agreeing with that, and I was leaning first 5 innings over. So we can give you 8 plus 106 or 7.5 minus 115. Which would you like, Jim?
Joe D say, say it again.
8 plus 106 or 7.5 minus 115.
I'll take the 7.5.
Okay, over 7.5 minus 115. That's the current line at Bookmaker. And I was thinking about, again, first 5 innings over on this one at 4 minus 115 at Bookmaker. Yeah, Molly and Block. Block can be a tricky pitcher. He can have some of those very low strikeout but 7-inning shutout or 1-run type starts. He might do the same thing here. Feels like one of these guys is going to get touched pretty hard in this game.
But I mean, there's such a low line. Why is the line so low? It's like,
well, I mean, it's low because both these offenses are not juggernauts. It's in San Francisco. The line makes sense to me.
I love it. And Mr. Goker saying, I know Babano's also on the Reds over. I did hit with it. Now, I want to go over something. Jody says, sorry, Jimmy, I don't buy that bias. Clearly remember you saying that many times about Vegas this year and they're in the playoffs. Listen, I read a book that completely rocked me. I don't know if there's been a more influential book about the way I think and the way I cap. And there's only one.
Bhagavad Gita?
No.
Not the Bhagavad Gita?
And there's only one chapter on sports in this book. It's called The Undoing Project by Michael Lewis, who did Moneyball. He wrote a book about these 2 Israeli psychologists. And Joe, it will change the way you think about everything, and it will change the way you think about biases. And so I'm a firm believer in both recency bias and vividness bias. A huge believer in it. And trust me, read this Michael Lewis book. It's spectacular. It just completely changed the way I think. So it's called The Undoing Project by Michael Lewis.
Maybe I'll read that shit.
It's
Damn,
absolutely
Jimmy the bag.
incredible.
All right, Jim's going to take Cincinnati, San Francisco over 7.5 minus 115. And what the hell? I'll throw on a bunch of plays here. I will throw on the first 5 innings over 4. Cincinnati, San Francisco minus 115. That's the current line at Bookmaker. The Giants bullpen is trash, so I would also have a lean to a Cincinnati on the second half as well, and maybe even the second half over, although it's just a 3.5. I would agree with you, Jim. I think the game is more likely than not to go over. And let me just think, but Votto is out, right?
He's supposed to be. I expect him to.
Okay. All right. What else do you have for us, Jim, if anything?
I do. I am going to, again, these lines, okay, I have a couple leans that I didn't follow through on. I made these 2 bets. I made that over bet, and I'm taking the under in Brewers Diamondbacks full game. I like both of these bullpens, especially this Brewers bullpen. I know they had a bunch of blown saves early, but man, I am very impressed with all the different options that they have. Bruins come in after winning 3 or 4 at Coors. Chacin, 3-1, 4.00 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. He looked bad in his first couple starts of the year. He's pitching very well. He's won his last 3 decisions. Over 6 starts with a 2.87 ERA. Brewers are 7-2 in his starts and have won the last 5. He's allowed 2 runs or less in 5 of his last 6 starts. 6-4 with a 3.48 ERA in 17 games against the Diamondbacks in his career. He has so much experience now. Every single time we talk about him, every 5 days, he's got so much experience in each field, in each situation, and I really like backing that. And then we have Greinke, who's allowed 4 runs over his last 3 starts. He's absolutely dominant at home. 2-0, 1.72 ERA in 5 home starts. 3-1 with a 4.20 ERA in 6 games, 5 starts. No, I'm not going to say obviously. A lot of people think this Humidor is doing a ton. And what that's going to create is people are going to think about it. Even if it's not happening, these ball players are going to think it's happening, and that's going to affect them. That's going to affect the big hits. Harper's already saying it's affecting him mentally, not as much physically. He's talking about it nonstop. Brewers are hitting 243, 703 OPS, terrible. Diamondbacks are hitting 223, 689 OPS, even worse. I like this under 8, and I'm going to take it.
Okay. I did take Milwaukee on the second half in this game. The best line we can give you right now, line shopping here at SBRodds.com, minus 103. Jim's going to take Arizona under 8, minus 103. That is the current line at Pinnacle.
Anthony L., who with all the great comments today, he's doubled up on this game. Full game in first 5 under.
Wow,
Melee
really?
Payless Ways on Arizona and Milwaukee under. These are great cappers that I want to be with.
Wow. Very, very nice. Nice calls, guys. All right, let's talk about one game that I don't think we talked about in the morning show. It's an interesting matchup, St. Louis against Minnesota, Flaherty against Barrios. Obviously, both of these young guys have a ton of potential, high future. Flaherty, though, is coming back from the minors, and he's looking pretty good. And Barrios, talk about psychological stuff, since the start in Puerto Rico, where he was pitching in his home country, in his home, home place, and had a great start, has had nothing but subpar starts since then, right?
Sorry, I got to mention something. Observer says, read the book written by 2 Jews who believe in the illegal state of Israel. Are they supposed to be objective? Give me a break. I'm talking about a recency bias and a vividness bias. That's what I'm talking about, and I'm relating it to sports gambling and how much it helped me with sports gambling. I'm not talking about the horrifying shit that's going on over there and 2 people who believe in Israel and don't believe in Palestine. I'm only talking about sports gambling and using the biases, Observer. I hear exactly what you're saying. I'm not touching that topic. I'm talking only about sports gambling. Only about sports gambling.
Jimmy the bag. Jimmy the motherfucking bag. Right there. Prime form. I love Jimmy the Bags. I love his character.
Sports gambling, that's it.
I love
Not
his
about the
fucking
horrifying shit we're seeing on the fucking news.
Yeah.
That bothers all of us. Don't
Yes.
think it doesn't bother us. I'm only talking about sports gambling.
Yes, one of the most important rules in this show. We are in complete denial about the horrific shit that goes on in the world. We don't address it. We don't acknowledge it. We stick our head in the sand about it, and that's one of the reasons people love this show, because they come here and they know that we are going to be in denial with them. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Jimmy the motherfucking bag. Love it.
And I love
Love it.
Observer. I love Observer, and that's why I just wanted to mention it, because, as much as we don't talk about that shit, we know it's happening, and we don't like it. That's all.
Denial in the Loshak in the Bag show about the horrific shit that goes on right outside our front doors every day and all around the world, all the suffering, all the everything. We ignore it. All right, we talk about shit like Flaherty against Barrios.
Yes, we do.
I don't know, man. It's tempting to say Flaherty's going to be great and Barrios will somehow find his way back to pitching well and take a shot with the under ear. Also tempting to say that Flaherty is just in a great groove right now and take St. Louis first 5 innings. What do you think, Jim?
Well, I look at this line and I think, wow, the market, again, we keep seeing these situations where the market's saying, I dare you, bet on Barrios, take Barrios, I dare you.
And Observer comes back and says, I understand, guys, relax. Jeez, LOL. Love Observer. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
all right,
I do.
Go on.
Sorry. Yes, they keeps feeling like situations where the market's begging us to take Barrios. Begging us. We saw it last time against the Angels. We've seen Barrios pitch so well, and now he's being lit up. He's being lit up, and there's also what issue is it not having Castro catching for him? That's got to play a part of it. They were hoping to get Castro back. They gave him the cortisone shots. It didn't work. Now he's going to need surgery. They're going to move forward with Mitch Garver and Bobby Wilson tandem. I think that has to be negatively affecting him. Flaherty has looked okay in the MLB, but in AAA, he's dominating. This guy struck out 13 in his last outing for the Memphis Redbirds. He's 4-1 with a 2.27 ERA and 5 starts for AAA. He's clearly ready to pitch in the show. Barrios 3-4, 4.50 ERA, 1.04 WHIP through 46 innings, 40 Ks, 9 walks, 7 homers. He has an 8.84 ERA through his last 4 outings.
I mean, seriously, what the hell is up with them? I understand that. Kobe Valentine, all the former athletes talk about how mental and psychological sports is at an elite level. But I mean, this guy went into Puerto Rico, had a great start, and then just completely lost his way.
And then when he went into New York, I backed him, and you guys were saying, everybody on the chat was saying he's going to regress. He had that important start in front of his mom. What the hell happened? I bet you he hooked up with an old girl. Back at home in Puerto Rico, right? He's back. He's a star.
Who the hell knows? Someone must know, but I certainly don't. My sense is that he's probably, at some point in the relatively near future, going to start to be excellent again. You know what I'm saying? Unless he's injured, which, I mean, that would be quite the coincidence, wouldn't it? That he got injured right after the Puerto Rican start. I mean, it seems much more likely that it's some kind of psychological thing.
It's strange. It's so strange, and this is another perfect situation. No, I shouldn't say perfect situation. And maybe it's a cop out. When I'm uncomfortable with the game, I just stay away from it. Maybe, but this is a clear stay away spot for me. In all honesty, with Jack Flaherty, we should be getting plus 130 against Barrios at home. Plus 130, plus 135. You
think? I mean, just in light of how Barrios has been doing, this is another spot. I'm pretty sure Flaherty's going to have a solid start here. If Barrios is going to have a solid start, I like first 5 innings under 5. If not, I like St. Louis on the first half. What should we do, Jim?
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay off it. Cream of Wheat Jones, he knows what it is, man. What it isn't. He got some bad wet cat, man.
Okay.
That's what happened. He went down home. He went home, and it's an old girl he's been in love with for forever.
Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? I don't know. I'm going to think about this a little bit more. Let's move on to some other stuff here. Let's see.
Oh, wow, Richard Reyes, what up, man? Shout out to Richard Reyes in an 18-wheeler truck watching this show, man.
Yeah, no way. Where is that? Richard Reyes says, I'm in an 18-wheeler truck watching this show.
Yeah,
Huge
right.
Shout out to Richard Reyes. Shout out to Richard Reyes.
Absolutely.
All right. Jose Ruiz saying under. I think he's talking about the Cardinals and Minnesota game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if Flaherty comes in and pitches as we expect him to, and Barrios comes in and is even just a little bit better than he has been, which I think we should expect, take the under.
I'm not comfortable with taking the under after watching Barrios pitch the last 4 starts or so. Scotty rocks on Cardinals money line. This is not applicable. Says another fade game, man. One thing that's been working for me is not trying to figure out a bet, not trying to force a bet. This is I'm off of it.
Where is it? Melas Palas Way likes St. Louis in full game over. So obviously, Melas Palas Way expecting another subpar start for Barrios. Let's see. Timur Sergaliev is talking about tweeting. Are we going to do a Twitter section in this show?
We don't have any tweets for today.
We don't have any tweet, but Timur Sergaliev is saying that he did tweet out to SBR Sports Picks. Yeah. And his comment is, what do you guys think about the legalization of gambling in the rest of states? Are we up for more rigged games since teams we aware of point spreads? Didn't we address that in the morning show?
We did, yeah.
Yes.
We had that. That was our.
And that's from Timo Buckets. Timo Buckets. I don't know if that's the same guy as Timur Sergaliev, but we did address that in the morning show. We'll be happy to address it again in subsequent shows if we get a tweet on it. But as of right now, I'm not seeing a tweet section planned for this show. But Timur Sergaliev, definitely tweet out to SBR Sports Picks and use the hashtag #GetThatCash. I assume we're going to be doing a Twitter segment in tomorrow morning show, and we will definitely be happy to address it then. Maybe we'll even address it in today's show, but we got a lot of stuff to cover. We got a lot of stuff to cover. I will say one other thing though. When we were talking about possible fixing going forward, and you know how Jimmy, I said that if there is going to be fixed stuff, it's not going to be 1950s style where people like fix one game 100% and you see a shot at the last moment that was obviously a missed shot. I said that it's most likely to come in props and derivatives. And here's another thing that I've thought of before that I didn't mention in this morning show. It also, in the past, quote unquote, fixed games meant 100% fixed, right? We're going to win this game. This is what the result's going to be. Again, people might start doing, shady shit where they're not going to fix one game 100%. They might fix 20 or 30 games at a 60% rate, right? These guys are savvy. All they need to know is they have an edge. They don't have to have a 100% edge, and that's possible as well. They go to some player or some team, and they don't fix one individual game. They say, all right, we're going to have an arrangement where, over the next 20 or 30 games, you're going to give me 60% point spread winners. And then those guys know that they've got a huge edge on each individual game, although they might not necessarily know which individual games they're going to cover. Or maybe they'll say, give me, 60% winners on your first half spreads over the next 20 games. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
I do know what
I don't
you're
mean to
saying.
scare the shit out of you.
Well, it does. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't, I don't like any of this stuff. Is very uncomfortable.
It does. It sucks.
I hope they just. I hope these guys just do it to use tennis.
Yeah,
man.
I wish
one person.
Yeah, exactly.
Just focus all of that shit on tennis and let's leave our.
And the other thing is,
alone,
of course, that different sports are easier or harder to fix than others. As you said, any individual sport like tennis or golf is obviously going to be a lot easier to fix than team sports. And obviously, how much the people are getting paid is huge. Obviously, a professional athlete getting paid millions of dollars is much less likely to do something than a college athlete getting paid nothing. A referee or an umpire getting paid a lot of money, but maybe not necessarily a huge amount, is more likely. I agree with you, Jay. I wish we could take all the dishonest scumbags, just send them to Mars. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You ever see, whatever. Let's get back to handicapping. But yes, anyway, Timur Sergaliev. And there has been a history, as we know, friggin' South American soccer. There was Russian tennis, right? There's been a history of this stuff outside of the United States, where the legality in the United States hasn't mattered. Sports betting has persisted, but it's been an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm now making Jimmy depressed.
I'm itching myself.
This should go in the category of shit that we are in denial about, except it has to do with sports betting. So,
yeah.
All right, let's move on. Any other plays that you want to add? Once again, in the afternoon show, Jim has added Cincinnati, San Francisco over 7.5, Arizona under 8 -103, and I have added Miami first half over 4 -133, Texas, Seattle first half over 4.5 -125, and Cincinnati, San Francisco first half over 4 -115. Other plays I was thinking about a Yu Darvish fade and taking Atlanta first 5 innings team total over 2 and full game team total over 4. Other plays I was thinking about first 5 innings under with Houston and the Angels with Cole against Barria. And
it seems like we might be making a mistake not taking that last one.
Which one? The first 5 innings under?
They're hanging a 4.5. I mean, why am I not jumping all over that? I'm trying to figure out what I'm afraid of.
So I know what you're afraid of. You're afraid that Barry is going to come in and give up 3 runs in the top of the first, and then someone else will be in there and give up 2 runs in the top of the fifth, and the Astros will be up 5-zip or 6-zip after 5 innings.
I'm afraid of Barry getting touched early, but he's looked great so far in his career. But that's the fear. Barry gets touched early. This Astros team, but I don't know. When you haven't seen now he's got 4 starts. Maybe the Astros have studied the tape. It's funny. I see the Astros hitting 255 with a 742 OPS, but I feel like they're not hitting. I'm gonna stay off of it. I'm curious to think. Very curious to hear what everybody else thinks about it. Is it just? And the Yanks guy says, "Take it, Jimmy."
The other thing that would be fucking hilarious, though, is if it got so big and there was so much fixing going on that people were actually fixing games against each other and didn't know about it. That would be funny as shit. How funny would that be? Two teams both trying to lose the first half, not aware that the other one is trying to lose it against each other.
Yeah, but we are going to start losing if that happens.
That's right. That's right.
Victoria asking, Jimmy, what do you think White Sox versus Pirates? We broke that game big in the early show, and I really like my play. I'm actually curious to see line movement on it. I like Ronaldo Lopez. I really do, and I'm going to back him. And I know he's seeing this squad again, and he's a good pitcher. Trevor Williams is a sneaky pitcher, throwing 88 to 91. I really think that the more teams see him, the easier he will be to hit. And these guys there's a rematch that starts on Wednesday. I'm on White Sox first 5 on a nice juicy plus 130 line.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see some other comments coming in. Excuse me. Taco Schofield says, it is Fade Darvish Day, Pete. And then right after him, Joe Macaron says Darvish won't be bad today.
I think that what Joe is saying is it's a very very risky play, thinking that what we've seen through, what are we at, 6 or 7 weeks of the season is the truth, and we know that's just not the case for both of these teams. So for both of these situations, meaning Darvish and the Braves.
Here we go. Kobe Valentine, comment on Barrios. Everyone listen up. Pete and Jimmy, Barrios has lost his command. He has no feel with his curve. His bread and butter pitch has resulted in, look at his last 4 games, 70% of the home runs are off his curve being flat. So Kobe Valentine, my question is, why did that happen? Did he get injured, or was there something psychological that happened after the Puerto Rico start? Why would that? I know that sometimes that just happens all of a sudden spontaneously to pitchers all the time. Kobe Valentine, do you think he's injured, or do you think that's something that's correctable, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's a tough call. And Kevin, our friend, Kevin Calixto, asking if we're going to be capping the World Cup. We will be doing the World Cup here.
And the last time the World Cup was around, I had a great read on that one. I was all over fading Brazil, and I was on Germany. I had a great read on that one and gave picks in videos. I like those big tournaments a lot. And let's see.
One quick question here. I know it's not a quick question, so this might be too long, and we don't need to do it here right now. It might be too long. But Dogtown, another guy that we love, says, Loshak in the bag, which sport do you think is the easiest to beat? Also, which sport is the toughest?
I mean, it depends on your own personal handicapping abilities. I can answer for Jimmy the Bag. His best sport to beat is definitely NHL. Great read on NHL. Great read on NHL teams' tendencies going forward. Maybe a little bit iffy in the playoffs.
It's been a bad playoffs, very bad playoffs for me. But long term, I think that low-hanging fruit in NHL is exactly that. Yeah. Whereas in NBA, it's just there's so many things going on that we don't know about. For whatever reason, these NHLers seem, now this is kind of but they seem to live pretty simple lives. Whereas there's just a lot more going on in other sports. In football, you've got a huge roster. And then in NBA, you've got this very small roster where these guys are getting paid enormous amounts of money. Hockey just seems to be a very simple game to cap. Personally, with horse racing, if you only cap the grade 1 races, you would be successful. But are you going to be able to go to the track and only bet on that one grade 1 race that day and not bet on the other 8 races? I mean, it's very difficult.
Okay. And Mr. Gokster says, Pete, what's your nationality? I am from the USA. Mr. Gokster 99. If you can hook me up with Canadian citizenship, would really fucking appreciate that, pal. If you could do that for me, huge, massive, life-changing favor, Mr. Gokster 99. And here is Kobe Valentine answering my question about Barrios. He says, I haven't seen anything that makes it look like he's injured. In my opinion, in my experience, he's a young kid who's getting pointers by veterans and coaches, and it has tweaked his mechanics in the wrong way. St. Louis might be a great play here on the first 5 innings.
St. Louis might be a great play on the first 5 innings, but if Barrios knows his curve is flat, it's just I feel like it's a fixable situation.
All right, so let's. We're coming up on 7 o'clock Eastern time. Once again, Philly-Baltimore. I did take Philly on the first 5 innings. Team total over 2.5. Pass from Jimmy. Yankees and Washington. I took Yankees on the second half. Jimmy took the over on that game at 8.5, and I was definitely thinking about a shot with the first 5 innings over as well. White Sox-Pittsburgh. Jimmy the Bag took White Sox first 5 innings at plus 130, and I was thinking maybe with a shot with Pittsburgh on the full game, but I'm going to pass. Dodgers and Miami. Jimmy the Bag took the Dodgers first 5 innings over 2 and full game over 4.5. I took Dodgers first 5 innings over 2 and the first 5 innings, both teams over 4, minus 133, and a lean to the under on the second half at 3.5, minus 120. Cleveland and Detroit. Jimmy the Bag, you did take Cleveland, didn't you? In the morning show.
I did, yes.
And you got minus 130.
Yes, I did.
Is someone out for Detroit? Because that line has now jumped 20 cents. Very nice job. It's now up to minus 150 market wide.
I can double check that. I should have done that already. I'll double check that. But I tell you what, everybody, so many people being on the Tigers tonight, it was a classic example of what I read in the Undoing Project. Yeah, we saw Detroit stop an 11-game streak and use that. And D from Detroit came in and said this AAA team's going to step up, and we all saw them step up. That's the reason why I got such a nice line.
Yes. All right. Oakland, Boston. That game might not go up because of weather issues, but if it does, Jimmy the Bag and I are both on the under 10 at minus 105. Toronto Mets. I don't think that game's going to go off, and I didn't do much research into it because I don't think it will. The Kobe AV was asking, isn't Syndergaard going to have a good game here, getting revenge against Toronto? I don't think that game's going to get off, but it's a pass for both Jimmy the Bag and I. And then the 7:30 game is Chicago against Atlanta. You know, the huge debate as to what to expect from Darvish here. Some people saying Darvish is a big fade here. Other people saying that he's going to be better than we expect here. You know, I would have a lean to maybe Atlanta on the full game over 4. Even if Darvish comes in and throws 6 shutout innings, you're still not out of it. Atlanta could put up runs late, but that's going to be a pass for both myself and Jimmy the Bag. And those are the 7 o'clock MLB games. Anything you want to add onto your official picks overall, Jim?
No, well, not in MLB. I'm comfortable staying there. I am worried that I'm leaving money on the table in that first 5 Angels game. No question about it.
Well, we can get back to it. I just do want to get to the 2 playoff games.
Yeah, I really do. No, I'm comfortable with where I am. And Kobe saying Encarnacion Sydney tonight, I think, if anything, that helps Cleveland as he's being pathetic and can't knock in runs. I think Cleveland has a bounce back. Yeah, Alonso and Encarnacion, I mean, down the road, they're going to be very important parts of this offense. Right now, they just aren't, and I'm comfortable with that.
Okay, sounds good. And you know what? I will throw on the LA Dodgers, Miami. Second half under. It's going to be a 3.5 minus 120. I will throw that one on there. Second half under, 3.5 minus 120. And that's it for the 7 o'clock MLB games. Now we're going to get to the playoff games, and then we might come back and discuss the 6 games at 8 o'clock and later in the MLB. Once again,
and Parlay Poppy saying huge under on first 5 Angels Astros.
Huge, yeah. I mean,
both offenses struggling. Hesitant because of Barry. Okay, so he's got. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to stay off of it. But I might be leaving money on the table. I'd rather keep staying off of games I'm uncomfortable with. Underdog saying Tomlin's 0-4. Listen, if you want to get confidence, throw against this Detroit Tigers lineup that's missing their 1, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. Now, Castellano might be back. I'm not sure. I've got to look. But, yeah, Tomlin is trash. But if you're going to be throwing 85 miles an hour, you want to do it against this Tigers lineup.
All right, so let's move on to the NBA and NHL playoffs. We will start with the NBA, and in the morning show, of course, anyone who caught the morning show, a cascade. I thought I was leaning over. I think you were leaning over as well, weren't you, or not really?
I was leaning over. It was a move I was thinking about making, but
I was leaning over, and then a cascade of opinions came in, all saying over. We're talking like 10 or 12 opinions saying over. Then, 1 or 2 guys came in saying that they kind of like the under. Then maybe 1 or 2 more guys said that they like the under specifically because everyone in the comment section was liking the over. But I was leaning over on this one in the morning, and I didn't make an official play on it. But then a cascade of opinions came in. Everyone, like all the big names, everyone liking the over. So many people just came in saying they like the over, and I believe that lineup has gotten bet up, hasn't it? Marginally.
Yeah.
Let me see. Last I checked, because in the morning show there was a 203 available, and when I checked earlier this afternoon, it seemed like it was.
Then for sure, because I don't think can you get it 204 even anymore? I don't know if you can.
Wow, no, that line, but yes, in the morning show it was 203.5 across the board, and there was one. The Greek was hanging 203, and I was thinking about grabbing that one. Now only 204.5 across the board. Heritage already up to 205, so clearly a significant market move here towards the over in the Cleveland-Boston game.
Very interesting stuff here. Normal Nation, a great friend of the show as well, likes all the LeBron props. And I don't have it in front of me, Normal Nation. Why, you mentioned where you're at, but he's got him all the way up to, I believe, up to like over 40 with huge plus lines. Or, I can't remember. I know I believe it starts at 32, right? And he's got 3 bets. I think that's an interesting way of doing it. With all that said, I'm not that comfortable taking the over here. But what I am going to do is I am going to take the Celtics tonight.
Wow, really, line. Really?
Yes, I am. This is not a team that I think is has it figured out how to beat the Celtics team in Boston, and we'll see what happens moving Thompson to the starting lineup. But this is a Boston team that is 8-0 in these playoffs at home and is very confident at home, and we're going to see Tristan Thompson and the effect he has on the defensive end. I hope Marcus Morris doesn't move from LeBron. But I just feel like this is a very, very confident team. Maybe we make changes in my mindset once we get to the into Cleveland, into Quicken Loans. But right now, and Antoine Sanmore says, Jimmy, you tripping?
Yes.
I might be. Oh, and this is Normal Nation. He's got over 34 for LeBron at minus 112, over 40 at plus 200, and over 42 at plus 300.
Wow.
That's a cool bet, man. And he said if it's 34... over 34, the rest is gravy. That's a fun bet, Normal Nation. I respect it. Native Queen is on the Cavs.
Jared Schrader says, Chit just joined in. Can someone please tell me what they said about the NHL game? Jared Schrader, you're in luck. We haven't said jack shit about the NHL game, but we are going to after this Cavs game. We could be talking about this for about 10 minutes here. And, of course, Steve Kerr himself, now fully freed to discuss betting lines, advised the world yesterday to be careful about taking Boston. He said game 2s are tricky. Be careful. Native Queen liking the Cavs. Antoine Seymour thinking that LeBron not getting any respect and that after tonight, people will respect him. Interesting shit.
Joe D says, pounding the Celtics too. I just feel like this is a team that believes in themselves, and they're at home, and they're able to, with their defense, with all 5 guys capable of playing defense against a team that Cavs just don't have that luxury of having every single spot on the floor being able to play defense. And Marcus Smart coming off the bench, bringing toughness. We also know Marcus Smart going through some things with his mom being sick right now. I just feel like they're going to go back to Cleveland with the Celtics up 2-0, and I'm comfortable here.
Okay. Mr. Gokster99 says, Pete, I think you're Greek or Armenian, Budsky, just to guess, LOL. You were talking about my ethnicity, Mr. Gokster99. I don't know what my ethnicity is, and I am always telling people that I don't want to know. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's bad, and I would just rather not know. So I don't know what the fuck it is. See, that was somehow a racist joke, and yet also funny. You know what I mean?
Sure it's bad?
Yeah, I'm sure, whatever it is, it's a mix of some of the worst that humanity has to
no
offer,
way.
and I'd rather not. People like, why don't you go on
person.
Ancestry.com, like, thanks, I'll pass. I'd rather not know. Anyway, getting back to this game.
It's a back and forth. Tons of people think I'm making a big mistake, and a bunch of people also with me. Yes, LeBron is capable of Native Queen says Boston must play with that level of energy every game. Don't think they can maintain it. I think they can in Boston. And listen, LeBron can go for 45. And the Celtics can still win this game. And there's tons of cappers that I respect on the other side. And Kingsley Maydew says, Pete Loshak, it's black.
In the meantime, Native Queen has given out some picks. I don't know if these are 7 o'clock MLB games, but let's read them, okay, Jim? You ready? Native Queen has given out Pittsburgh White Sox, first 5 under and full game under. Interesting. First 5 under and full game under Pittsburgh White Sox.
That's interesting. So she's thinking that it doesn't matter that they saw the picture on Wednesday. These pictures on Wednesday.
It's a little bit of a high total as well. It's 8.5. Yeah. She likes Washington to score first. Makes sense to me. And first 5. And oh no, Washington is at home, right? Interesting. So she likes Washington to score first, even though the Yankees are on the road and facing Gonzalez. Interesting. She likes Washington to score first and first 5 and New York Yankees second half. Yes, I'm on the New York Yankees second half. I don't know what the first 5 means, but maybe she means Yankees first 5. I'm not exactly sure. I'm still not a perfect translator of Native Queen's shorthand, but she definitely likes Washington to score first and the Yankees second half. She likes the Philly game. No score in the first. She likes Philly to score first and Philly on the game money line. Good. So she thinks that she's not a believer in Kashner today either. Although she likes no score in the first. Interesting. Once again, she likes no score in the first in the Philly games, but she likes Philly to score first and Philly on the full game money line. She likes Miami first 5 innings. Interesting. So she probably thinks that Wood might get touched here as well. Miami first 5 innings plus a half and the money line on the game. She likes Detroit to score first, Atlanta to score first, and first 5. I don't know what that means. Oh, I think she means just like Atlanta first 5 money line. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what I'm guessing. Okay, there you go. I didn't translate the picks from Native Queen perfectly, but I did my best. They are in the comment section again if you want to see them for yourself. Thank you so much, Native Queen, for posting your plays each and every day. We really, really, really fucking appreciate it.
Yeah, we love you, Native Queen, and I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Ulysses Hayes says took Miami a full game. All right, so once again, Cleveland, Boston, Jimmy the Bag. You want to make
Boston money line?
Are you sure about this?
I'm very sure about this. And King Rail says Cavs are 0-11 after a 20-point loss.
Yeah, I mean, God, who knows? Who the hell knows what's going to happen here? So once again, the market is still split here. Pinnacle at -1, Heritage at +1, and then there's a whole bunch of pick'ems across the board. The market still, with tip-off an hour and a half away, not quite certain where they want to put this line. You want to bet that you want to take this game, Jim?
I do. And We Good Film says yesterday San Francisco knocked Cincy. The Bag and Loshak said Cincy run line, and they was wrong.
Yes, where was that? Wait,
I didn't have Cincy on the run line, but I also had the over.
Yes, Jim nailed that one, and I had that game 3 ways, and I split on it. I had the first 5 innings Cincinnati team total over, which cashed. I had Cincinnati second half, which pushed, and then I had Cincinnati +1, which was wrong. Mally Mal and Farouk Islam, I believe, or Mally Mal and someone else predicted a win by more.
We Good Films. I know it might be difficult for you to understand this, but we're not going to win every single day of the season. And I had a losing day yesterday, but I'm up 15.5 units, and I'm not going to win every fucking day.
Mm-hmm. There was some sound effect. Larry, the people are saying there was some sound effect that came in. What happened? Was that you? Is there?
Larry's making noise.
Are there spirits infecting the circuitry of this show?
Larry's making noise.
Not applicable. This is Larry, it seems, made the noise. All right, Jimmy the Bag. Officially, what do you want to do here?
Officially,
yeah,
I'm taking the Celtics on the money line.
Wow. All right, money line. So you want
let's take a look at the money line. Take a look at money line.
Yeah, I mean, Heritage has the best line for the spread we give you would be the Heritage line, which is +1 -105. I will move to the money lines here at SBRodds.com. Best money line would be, let me see, -107 at Pinnacle. So you could you get -107 at Pinnacle or Heritage +1 -105.
I'll take the +1.
All right, Jim's going to take Celtics +1 -105. I'm not touching this game. I would still have a lean to the over, even at 204.5. Maybe a lean to the first half over, but I'm not touching this game. All the people who are liking LeBron James over props might be onto something there, and King Rail will probably have a good read on this game, taking it live. If you gave me a free play right now, I would throw it. I would split it on the first half over and full game over. I would take a shot with that one. I'm just going to pass on this game for now. All right, Jim?
All right.
Now let's move on to NHL. Once again, shocking result. I don't know anyone who saw Tampa Bay losing their first 2 games at home to Washington that did have some injury problems, right? You're a way better handicapper than I am because I did not see that coming.
Oh, Washington has looked excellent. Mm-hmm. They've looked excellent on the road all postseason. And now they have a lot of pressure on their hands. I just don't see them sweeping this Lightning team.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I was looking back at my hockey this year, I did not do very well with the Lightning. There were times I expected them to make statements towards the Leafs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just laughing. Rebecca Meck says, "Can you play a Hanna-Barbera sound effect every time Pete makes a play?" That would be an improvement for the show. Let's keep that in mind, Jim.
You didn't know who Hanna-Barbera is.
Hanna-Barbera, fucking Flintstones.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Classic shit.
Okay.
All right, so Jimmy the Bag in the morning did take Tampa Bay to get a win here on the road. He took them at plus 107. The market has moved a little bit in your favor. Pinnacle's down to plus 100. Bookmaker's still at plus 105, but Jim took them at plus 107, and there's been a clear, roughly 5-cent market move in favor of Tampa Bay. So I guess that's nice to see.
Yeah, I just giving a shout out to King Rail. Do follow him. Vasilevsky's looked awful. Normal Nation is being hurt by it, no doubt about it. Rudolfo Harness says, "Hey guys, I'm 17 years old and love your show. I just signed up for BetMania. It's my first betting account."
Oh, thank you so much, and Rudolfo Harness. I hope you did use the link in the description box so that people will know that an underage sports bettor signed up. No, is that legal? Is 17?
Our heads in the sand.
Whatever, heads in the sand. Put your heads in the sand. Rudolfo Harness, thank you so much. We love you. Welcome to the family.
Yes, Rudolfo. Listen, this is what Stamkos said. He said, sometimes adversity is gut check time. And let's see who we really are. I want to see who they really are. And he also said, we haven't had to really deal with that so far in the playoffs. Now we are, so we'll see what type of team we are. And, you know, when your captain says something like that, you step up. You step up. And they've looked terrible in the series, and I expect them to bounce back. That simple. I expect them to bounce back.
So what the hell happened in the first two games? Was it psychological? What happened in the first two? I understand game one, but then what happened in game two?
Everything had just been so easy for them, you know? Everything had just gone their way and been so easy for them, and they have to deal with adversity now. You know, momentum's huge in hockey.
Here you go, Mohamed Joma, who fucking called an early exit by the Predators. Jimmy the Bag, you disagree with him. Let's give some props. This guy nailed the Preds being overvalued and with an early exit. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Mohamed Joma. Shout out to Mohamed Joma. He says, Tampa Bay cannot get any speed or rhythm through the neutral zone, limited offensive zone pressure, and they are turning the puck over deep in their own zone. That Game 2 performance was embarrassing. Caps exert. So I'm not sure who he likes in tonight's game. So great analysis, great comment, Mohamed Joma. Who do you like in tonight's game, Mohamed Joma? If you don't mind. Yeah. Sorry, that was a big letdown. I guess.
Employed millennial. Oh, and you love millennials.
Yeah,
this is
I do.
An employed millennial.
Oh, shout out to employed millennial. Thank you very much, employed millennial.
Says the reality is the Caps have dominated the series through two. Sweeps happen in hockey, and I don't buy the must-win factor here. Caps money line, for me, is the lean. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Sweeps happen in the NBA. There were some must-win spots earlier in the NBA playoffs where we thought, they're not going to get a sweep, are they? The NBA doesn't want a sweep, do they? And there were some sweeps. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there were some sweeps.
Pelicans swept the Blazers. Unreal.
Oh, man. It wasn't that. It was watching the Raptors
the
get
Raptors,
swept.
yeah.
And
Sweeps do happen.
A good man takes the fall for it, and upsetting. Very upsetting. So, yeah, no, I get it. I get what employed millennial's saying, and just watching this Lightning team. Okay, I thought someone mentioned that beating the Bruins and doesn't prove you're a contender. Beating the Bruins and beating the Devils, yeah, not applicable. New Jersey and Boston didn't prove Tampa's a contender. Listen, I was high on Boston, very high on them, and it was a very impressive series victory. And when Stamkos says something like that, we'll see the kind of player Stamkos is, and I believe that he's the type of player who will step up. He's the type of player who will play injured, and he's the type of player who will get the best out of his team. Jim Rome's saying Stammer's still hurt. He might be. But I expect the Lightning to step up here, and the pressure's on the Capitals.
Mohamed Joma has finished his thoughts. He ran out of characters and finishes off. What he wanted to say was that Caps exert their will again. Mohamed Joma says Caps win tonight and probably goes under as long as Vasilevsky isn't a sieve.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm excited. I'm excited about both these games very, very, very much. Celtics and Lightning, that's who I'm on. And I can understand if somebody was on the Cavs and Caps, and we know that people on our chat are on the Cavs and Caps. But I'm going to stick with it, man.
Anthony Holloway says Tampa Bay tries to get fancy with passes instead of firing at the net. And someone else, not applicable, says Tampa tries to finesse every scoring play. Would you agree with that? Would you think that's the root of their problems against the Caps? And do you think that's possibly something they can change?
Yes, it's definitely something they can
do. Cute.
They've got veterans on this team, and they're mostly on the defense. But they've got veterans on this team that are going to step up and say that we have to simplify everything. I expect them to simplify everything and send everything to the net tonight. Everything to the net, and I'll be shocked if they don't.
Jared Schrader says, I hammered under 6 in this game. Not applicable, says Tampa Bay. Goaltending sucks. All right, Jimmy the Bag has made an official play on Tampa Bay. Mohamed Joma likes the Caps to get a 3rd win and likes the under unless it's all about Vasilevsky, unless Vasilevsky, lets a bunch of goals in. A lot of people suggesting that the under might be a good play here.
Yeah, old Larry, old Lumpy Nuts Larry, this was his play of tomorrow yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Was on the Lightning.
So is he going to have a play of tomorrow for today?
He does.
He does have a play of tomorrow today. All right, should we get to that, Jim? Why not?
We probably should.
Now that we're on there, let's a nice little segue there. Usually they're very awkward segues when we bring Larry on camera. And Larry, tip from the commenters from the past few shows. Would you be a doll and go on a microphone when you give your opinion? Would you be a little lamb, be a deer, and just go into a microphone? You can talk into this one. These are the microphones, Larry.
Oh shit. Okay, guys. I have the Cebu Lions.
Ooh.
Minus 141.
Japanese baseball.
Yes, it is. Against the Nippon Ham Fighters. It's easy.
Okay.
I know my shit. Let's do this.
Wow.
Okay.
When does that game go off?
Cebu Lions.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Eastern
Okay.
time. 5 a.m. Eastern time. The Cebu, he knows how to pronounce it too.
Yes. Better microphone technique, Larry, but we still need a little bit of working on it. Get a little bit closer next time, but a definite improvement. Shout out to Larry, and that is lucrative Larry's play of the future for tomorrow. And Larry is also on Tampa Bay tonight, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Native Queen.
Native Queen. Here you go. Here. Oh, I think she reposted her picks. Yes, which I read before. These are the same picks as before. Thank you so much, Native Queen. All right, so that does it. Jimmy the Bag is on Tampa Bay. Mohamed Joma disagrees with that. A decent amount of people liking the under in that game. And the Boston Celtics +1, minus 105. And I am definitely passing on both these games as far as an official pick is concerned. I mean, the under is pretty tempting, Jim.
There's no question. I think that the Lightning Capitals, you could probably hammer the under all the way through. What is the line that you
Well, it's 6. It's a standard 6 line with like a minus 114 money line at Pinnacle, and it just feels like. Do you think Tampa Bay is going to be a little bit more defense oriented in some way? That's going to be their strategy in here, and be a little bit less careless on defense and a little bit tighter on offense. And
no, I think they got to roll 4 lines against the Caps and get Ovechkin and Kuznetsov as tired as possible, as fast as possible. Dump and chase, throw everything at the net.
Right. So that means under.
That does mean under to me,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe an under early. Let me see what the first period. Yeah, it's a 1.5 plus 103. Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with Mohamed Joma here again that the under is probably going to hit unless Vasilevsky is a SIV sieve. Do you think that's likely or possible?
Certainly looked like it last game. Jared Schrader says, I expect this game to be a lot tighter defensively.
Yeah.
I agree with these guys.
All right, I'm going to take the under here. I am going to take the under. I'm going to take the under 6 as an official play. Minus 114 at Pinnacle Bet Online and a few other places. Under 6 minus 114 will be an official play for me. All right, so that's it for the NBA games. We can very quickly go back just to the MLB games if you want to. Anything else you want to say? St. Louis, Minnesota. I'm definitely leaning under on that one. Definitely leaning St. Louis first 5 innings as well. Excuse me, Tampa Bay, KC, we didn't touch on. Milwaukee, Jim is on the under. I'm on Milwaukee second half. Houston Angels, Jimmy the Bag, and I have a lean to the under on this one, and the first 5 innings under. Maybe the Angels' first 5 innings team total under. Texas, Seattle, I did take a shot with the first 5 innings over with Texas, Seattle, and Cincinnati, San Francisco. Jim took the full game over on that one, and I took the first 5 innings over on that one as well. And I'm an inch away from throwing on the. I'm going to do it. I'm going to throw on under 9.5 in St. Louis, Minnesota. Under 9.5 minus 120. That's the current line at Heritage. I'm going to take that one. What do you think about that?
I get it.
Under 9.5 minus 120. St. Louis, Minnesota. That's the current line at
worried
Heritage.
About Barrios'
I am worried about it. Yes, and I might throw on the St. Louis first 5 innings money line as well. But I'm going to throw that one on there. Barrios, at some point, I think has to be a little bit better, and I'm going to take this one under 9.5 first 5 innings. I'm sorry, a full game.
Yeah, no, I get it. David Hutton says, I take something away from every show. Thanks, fellas. Going to
Oh.
read that book. Oh, please do. God, it's fucking good. And looking forward to the Preakness show. Yeah, I think I can figure out an opportunity for us to make some money here. And it's obviously not taking Justify to win, because I've heard rumors that he'll be down to 2-5.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was speaking with my dad about it, we were talking about the only way you'd make a bet on him was at 4-5. And it looks like he'll be at 2-5.
Interesting stuff here. All right, so I guess we can wrap things up. Once again, the picks that Jimmy and I added. I'm not going to go over the morning show picks, but Jim added Cincinnati, I'll just go over once again the picks from the games that are still yet to go off. Cubs in Atlanta. Interesting. What will happen with Darvish? I don't know. We'll see. And Jimmy the Bag and I are both passing on that one. St. Louis, Minnesota. I did make a late addition onto my picks under 9.5 -120 at Heritage. Tampa Bay, KC pass. Milwaukee, Arizona. Jim is on the under, and that was endorsed by some commenters when he was discussing it. I took Milwaukee on the second half -110. Houston Angels, in the end, going to be a pass for both Jimmy and I. Texas, Seattle. I took the first 5 innings over 4.5 -125. Cincinnati, San Francisco. Jim took the full game over 7.5 -115, and I took the first 5 innings over 4 at -115, and that's it. Great show, Jimmy the Bag. Thanks so much. Good luck to everyone. Thanks so much for all your comments, and we'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time.